How's it going, everyone? I'm Cameron. I'm one of the design engineers with Z1 Off-Road. Today, we've got a supercharger and a table out in the middle of the woods. So what are we doing? Today, we're here to announce the official launch of the Z1 Off-Road Supercharger kit for the D41 Frontier. This is a highly anticipated project that we've been working on since 2023. We have been just aching to release this, and it's finally time. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about some of the cool features you get. The pride and joy of this kit is the Harrop TVS 1900 unit. It's a 1.9 liter supercharger. So you have a supercharger that is half the displacement of your engine. I think that's a pretty good displacement ratio. But this is the unit that we're gonna be using. It uses Eaton internals, but it's a Harrop blower. Absolutely rock solid. We went with Harrop because we knew they would have a product that we can rely on, and therefore you can rely on. So we go ahead and pass the reliability and power onto you. For the time being, this kit is going to be offered exclusively with the Z1 Off-Road cold air intake system. This is due to the change in MAF size that we implement. The MAF sensor stays the same, but the diameter of the tube changes, and so to accommodate that, we have to require that you use the Z1 Off-Road intake. This is for the D41, so that's the 2022 Plus Frontier, with the VQ38DD engine. So that is your 3.8 liter direct injected engine. That is all the Frontiers in North America. So this may work with your D40.5, your super late model D40s with the VQ38DD. We have not confirmed fitment yet, but from what we understand, it should be a pretty close fit. You may have to trim your hood a little bit. For you VQ40DE guys out there, don't worry, we see you. We are working on a kit for you guys. We will be getting your D40 Frontiers, your N50 Xteras, and your R51 Pathfinders equipped with the supercharger kit here in the near future. So, we haven't forgotten about you. We know how. We like to DE the world here at Z1 Off-Road. A couple features that we want to start off with. First and foremost, you're going to have an extensive use of carbon fiber and heat exchangers in this kit. So we are doing our best to package everything as neatly and as compactly as possible. So with carbon fiber, we ran into a packaging constraint. And when we found out the space that we needed the supercharger kit to fit into, the only option was carbon fiber. And of course, you know, as much of a bummer as that is that we had to use carbon fiber, I think we're pretty stoked with the results. So what we end up having is a lightweight, airtight, super compact system that does not compromise any airflow while also looking the part of being a cool supercharger kit. So all the way up to the throttle body, you're gonna have carbon fiber. This is gonna go like this on the back of the supercharger and bring the inlet back up to the front. So this is the dual idler bracket that replaces your single ribbed idler and will utilize that space to put two smooth idlers, therefore rerouting the belt up and around the snout of the supercharger while keeping the rest of the routing of your belt totally factory stock. You're even gonna use the same tensioner. One of the neat features about this idler bracket is that you don't need to change any hardware or anything. If you're gonna swap pulleys or swap belts or what have you, you can use the same system. So we have the sliding idler on one side, and there's gonna be a set screw and a jam nut on that that will keep everything locked into place. It's gonna keep it from walking or moving. You're gonna be able to just set it and forget it, never have to worry about it again. So one of the questions we've been asked a lot is why a supercharger kit? Why not go twin turbo? Why not do something like that? And honestly, the reason why we went with the supercharger kit is because we wanted to make it user-friendly to install. With the twin turbo kit or even a single turbo kit, you'd have to reroute everything in the engine bay and you'd have to do complex exhaust work, which is also going to interfere with emissions. We just didn't want to touch that. We want to leave that up to you guys. So we went with the supercharger kit because first and foremost, it's easy, simple to install. You can do this yourself, you can do it in your driveway. You don't even have to put it up on a lift. It's very simple to do. Second thing is we wanted a system that didn't have to require any external oiling. So these systems are sealed from Harrop and they are good to go for the life of the vehicle. You can change fluid in them, but you don't really have to. But check with Harrop for the specifics on that. Otherwise, we wanted to have a simple, robust, and cool sounding system that we could implement on these trucks. And who doesn't want to hear that supercharger whine screaming as you floor it? So it's awesome. Moving on to the intercooling system. So we've got a couple of heat exchangers. Some supercharger kits do not have heat exchanging. The purpose of the intercooler and the heat exchanger is to reduce your intake temperatures. So with the supercharger, you're forcing more air and more fuel in, you're making more power. But when you have all that increase in pressure, you're gonna have an increase in temperature. So we wanna pull all that heat out. We wanna use the intercooler and the heat exchanger to remove that heat from the system and make it more efficient and more power effective. So the intercooler is this massive unit here. It's a 40 millimeter thick, absolute tank of unit. We've got 2 ports on the driver's side of it that are gonna feed your inlet and your outlet. Everything is going to bolt up on this stack. So you'll have a lower plate that bolts to your lower intake manifold, the intercooler, supercharger plate, and then the supercharger on top of that. So it's a really simple stack. It's really easy to assemble. And most importantly, it is compact and effective at what it does. So the water from this intercooler is gonna flow through a pump, specifically this pump here. This is the same pump that we use in our VR30 systems. So whether we have 1 or 2 in those VR30 systems, we only found that we needed 1 pump for this kit. So this pump mounts up in the front of the vehicle and will circulate all the coolant throughout the intercooling system. So it's important to note this is separate from your engine coolant system. By keeping those systems separate, you can further improve the effectiveness of the intercooling system. Sitting up at the front to keep everything cool, getting all the airflow, is going to be this heat exchanger. So this is going to work with the models that have the active shutter system and the ones that do not. So we had a couple versions of this that we ran through. They actually released the active shutter system while we were in development of this, and so we had to reroute and come up with a better solution that fit all models. So that's what we landed on. We have this nice large heat exchanger. It's a single pass. You're gonna notice a port here on the passenger side for an NPT or other temperature sensor. If you feel so inclined, you wanna keep an eye on those intercooler temperatures. That's where you're gonna look at it. Available with this kit is a complete tuning package. So you can get all of the stuff in front of you and the tune all right from Z1 Off-Road. We do the tuning through EcuTech, and we rely heavily on our motorsports background, over 25 years of experience, making sure that we have all the tuning dialed in perfectly for your vehicle. So if you're looking for a minimally invasive, cost-effective, power-producing, results guaranteed supercharger, this is the kit for you. If somehow you haven't found the listing yet, go check it off at z1offroad.com. If you're looking to change every drive into an absolute joy and looking to put a smile on your face every time that accelerator touches the floor, this is the kit for you. I promise. You are going to have an absolute riot driving this every day. You're gonna have a great time. You're gonna love listening to that supercharger whine. If you got a snorkel, you're gonna love hearing it right up next to your ear. But ultimately, this is gonna be an awesome way to step up the performance of your Frontier, make it into the beast that it was made to be from the beginning. That's all I got for you today. So make sure you head on over to z1offroad.com today and go ahead and like, comment, let us know what you think, what you're gonna do with your truck, and we'll see you next time.